In the world of bodybuilding, some names are spoken with respect, some with admiration, but few with the reverence given to Bill Pearl. He wasn't just a champion, he was a teacher, a thinker, and a man decades ahead of his time in training, diet, and philosophy. At a time when bodybuilding was still finding its identity, Bill Pearl set a standard for size, symmetry, and strength that influenced generations of athletes, from the golden age to today. But what truly set him apart wasn't just his physique, it was his mind, his approach to training, his diet, and most importantly, his generosity in sharing knowledge. And that's something I got to witness firsthand. I was fortunate enough to meet Bill several times at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. Each time I was struck by the same thing, his humility. Here was a man who had achieved everything in bodybuilding, four-time Mr. Universe. One of the most respected authors in bodybuilding history, a mentor to legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and yet when you spoke with him, he had zero ego. He was generous with his time, willing to talk to anyone, whether they were a first-time competitor or a seasoned veteran. If you had a question, he didn't just give you an answer. He gave you a lesson, breaking things down with the wisdom of a man who had spent his entire life mastering the craft. He loved to share information. That was his true passion. Not just lifting weights, but lifting others up. Bill Pearl's training philosophy was as unique as it was effective. Unlike many of his peers, he didn't just focus on aesthetics. He was also a true strength athlete, capable of brutal, old-school workouts that built muscle, power, and endurance all at once. His workouts were intense, but they weren't just about heavy lifting. He believed in high volume, strict form, and total body training, ensuring that every muscle was balanced and well-developed. Pearl often followed a 6-day-a-week training split, hitting every body part 3 times a week. Here's an example of one of his classic training approaches. On days 1, 3, and 5, he hit upper body. Versions of this training would later be revamped and renamed by people claiming it as their own. Incline barbell press, 4 times 8 to 12 reps. Built his legendary chest with controlled high-rep sets. Wide grip chins, 4 times 10 to 12 reps. Preferred these over heavy rows for upper back thickness. Behind the neck press, 4 times 8 reps, an old school favorite that gave him powerful delts. Barbell curls, 5 by 10 reps, strict, slow, and focused, no swinging. Lying triceps extensions, 5 by 10 reps, he emphasized triceps, size for true arm mass. Deep rows and shrugs would also be used for complete back development. On day 2, 4, and 6, he hit lower body squats. 5 times 12 reps, Pearl believed in. Deep, full range squats for total leg development. Leg press, 4 times 12 reps. One of his favorite moves to push high volume for leg size. Romanian deadlifts, 4 times 10 reps, strengthen the posterior chain for overall power. Seated calf raises, 5 times 15 reps. Pearl's calves were underrated, but his training wasn't. Wrist curls, 4 times 15 reps. Forearm strength was key to his grip and power. Bill Pearl was one of the first major bodybuilders to adopt a vegetarian diet. something almost unheard of at the time. Many thought it was impossible to build muscle without meat, but Pearl proved everyone wrong. He relied on eggs and dairy for high-quality protein, beans, nuts, and whole grains for additional muscle-building nutrients, fruits and vegetables to fuel performance and recovery. He focused on nutrient timing before it was even a concept, eating clean, whole foods before and after training to optimize muscle growth and energy levels. His approach showed that bodybuilding wasn't just about stuffing yourself with steak and protein shakes. It was about balance, sustainability, and longevity. And here's the most impressive part. Bill Pearl stayed in peak shape well into his 60s and beyond. His approach wasn't just for the stage, it was for life. What made Bill Pearl truly special was his philosophy. He wasn't obsessed with trophies. He wasn't in it for fame. For him, bodybuilding was about self-improvement, discipline, and health. And that's what he passed down to others. When I spoke with him, he never pushed his own opinions on people. He just shared what had worked for him and let you take what made sense. He had this way of making you feel like you were the most important person in the room, whether you were a new lifter or someone who had been in the game for years. Bill Pearl never won a Mr. Olympia title because he never competed in the Olympia. But that didn't matter. His influence stretched beyond trophies. He trained champions, mentored Arnold Schwarzenegger, wrote one of the most respected training books of all time, Keys to the Inner Universe, and lived a life that proved bodybuilding isn't just a young man's game. It's a lifelong pursuit. His legacy lives on not just in those who trained with him, but in every lifter who reads his books, follows his methods, and understands that bodybuilding is about more than just muscle. It's about dedication, knowledge, and giving back. I'll never forget the times I spent talking to Bill Pearl. He wasn't just a legend of the sport, he was a true gentleman. So next time you step into the gym, remember Bill Pearl's lessons. Train hard, train smart, eat for performance and longevity, and most importantly, pass on what you learn. That's how true champions are made.